Hello everyone. Today me and my group members will talk about the industrial hazardous waste. So, what is industrial waste? Industrial waste refer to unwanted materials produced from industrial activities such as manufacturing, construction, mining and processing. There are several types of industrial waste including solid waste, liquid waste, hazardous waste and gaseous waste. Example including scrap metal, chemical waste, wastewater, oil and industrial gases. In Malaysia, there are 5.379 million tons of scheduled waste were recorded in 2024, showing that hazardous waste is a significant waste management issue. Industrial waste can come from different sources such as factories, manufacturing plants, construction sites, power plants and chemical industries. Proper management of industrial waste is important because improper disposal can cause pollution to the air, water and soil. It can also create health and safety risks for workers and nearby communities. That's all from me. I will pass to Hazel, which she will talk about the current challenges and issues related to the waste category in Malaysia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Afiq. Now I will discuss the current challenges and issues of industrial hazardous waste in Malaysia. Industrial hazardous waste, also known as scheduled waste, is an important environmental issue in Malaysia. According to the Department of Environment, Malaysia has 77 types of scheduled waste under the Environmental Quality Scheduled Waste Regulation 2005. One major challenge is the increasing amount of scheduled waste generated by industries. Industries such as manufacturing, chemical processing, petroleum and metal industries produce hazardous waste such as used oils, spent solvents, expired chemicals and contaminated materials. Another issue is improper storage and handling. Scheduled waste needs to be properly labelled, packaged, separated and stored before treatment or disposal. Poor handling can cause chemical spills, fires, worker exposure and contamination of soil and water. Illegal dumping and improper disposal are also serious concerns. When scheduled waste is dumped illegally or sent to unauthorized facilities, hazardous substances can enter rivers, groundwater and soil. This can harm ecosystems and pose health risks to nearby communities. Malaysia also faces challenges with compliance and awareness. Some waste generators may not properly identify, classify, record or manage their scheduled waste. This makes it more difficult to monitor waste and ensure that it is handled safely. Another challenge is ensuring that scheduled waste reaches licensed treatment, recovery and disposal facilities. Industries must use authorized facilities rather than disposing of hazardous waste through normal waste systems. To improve monitoring, Malaysia uses systems such as e-Swiss, which allows scheduled waste generators to record information about the waste they produce and transfer. In conclusion, the main challenges of scheduled waste management in Malaysia are increasing waste generation, improper handling and storage, illegal dumping, poor compliance, and the need for effective treatment facilities. These issues can be reduced through stronger enforcement, better work training, waste minimization, recycling, and proper monitoring. Overall, effective scheduled waste management is essential to protect workers, communities, and the environment while supporting sustainable industrial development in Malaysia.
I am going to give a proposed strategy on smart circular scheduled waste management system. There are four main approaches. The first one is waste minimization at the source. The industry should first identify where the scheduled waste is generated during production so that they can modify production process to use less hazardous chemical or raw materials. They can also improve equipment maintenance and production efficiency to prevent unnecessary waste. This follows the waste hierarchy, which is preventing is better than recovering or disposing it. For example, a manufacturing company can replace a hazardous solvent with a less hazardous one. The second approach is digital tracking using a smart scheduled waste passport. This is the most innovative element of the proposal because every batch of scheduled waste would be given a digital record. This record contains information such as type and quantity of waste, date of generation, and company as well as the location. This is to ensure that stakeholders can update the record as waste moves through management chain. This can also be easily traced and increase accountability, and it can help authority identify the unusual losses or illegal dumping. The next approach is recovery and circular use of materials. Instead of directly send it to the disposal, industry should also determine whether the waste is valuable. Such as used solvents, some of them can be recovered and purified to be used again. And metal containing waste, the metal can be recovered and reused again. This is to ensure that the final amount of waste product would be less than necessary. The final approach would be advanced treatment and safe final disposal. For waste that cannot be recovered or reused, use appropriate treatment technology to reduce its toxicity and hazardous characteristic. Despite on the waste, this may involve several processes such as chemical and biological disposal technique. This can ensure that the amount of hazardous waste being disposed to the surrounding would be less, and it can bring less harm than before.
Alright, so now that we have discussed the proposed strategy for managing industrial waste, let's talk about how we can actually put this strategy into practice. First, the implementation should start with a waste audit. The industry needs to identify what type of waste that they produce, how much waste is generated, and where the waste is coming from. This is important because different types of industrial waste require different methods of handling and disposal. Next, we need to introduce waste segregation at the source. For example, recyclable material, general waste, and hazardous waste should be separated using clearly labeled containers. This can make recycling easier and reduce the amount of waste sent to the landfills. The next step is proper storage and collection. Industrial waste should be stored in the designated areas that are safe and clearly labeled. Hazardous waste especially must be handled carefully to prevent contamination and harm to workers or the environment. After that, industries should work with licensed waste management contractors and recycling companies. These companies can collect, transport, recycle, treat, or dispose of the waste using proper methods. Now, who are the key stakeholders involved? The first is the industry management, because they are responsible for providing the budget, facilities, and policies. Then we have the employees, who are responsible for following proper waste segregation and handling procedures. We also have the Department of Environment, or DOE, which plays an important role in regulating, monitoring industrial waste management in Malaysia. Waste contractors and recycling companies are also important because they handle the waste after it leaves the factory. Of course, we need some resources to make this work. These include proper waste containers, storage facilities,
personal protective equipment, transportation, employee training, and a system to monitor and record the amount of waste produced. However, implementing this strategy isn't always easy. Some challenges include high initial costs, lack of employee awareness, difficulty separating certain types of waste, limited recycling facilities, and improper waste handling by contractors. So, to make the strategy successful, industries needs to continuously train their workers, monitor their waste management practices, and regularly evaluate their result. In simple terms, the implementation process is audit the waste, separate it properly, store it safely, and send it right to the facility and continuously monitor the system. If everyone involved play their parts, industrial waste can be managed more sustainably while reducing its impact on both the people and environment.
Okay, hi and good day everyone. My name is Manisha and I will be presenting about expected environmental, social and economic benefits of our industrial hazardous waste management strategy. So firstly, let's look at the environmental benefits. By properly collecting, treating, recycling and disposing of industrial hazardous waste, we can significantly reduce pollution. So this prevents harmful chemicals from contaminating our soil, rivers, groundwater, and the air. In addition, recovering valuable materials from hazardous waste helps conserve natural resource and reduce the amount of waste sent to landfill. So overall, this contributes to clean environment and protects biodiversity. And the next social benefits. Effective hazardous waste management help protects public health by reducing exposure to toxic substance. So it also creates a safer working environment for employees through proper handling procedures and safety training. Furthermore, industries that manage their waste responsibly build greater trust with local communities and encourage environmental awareness among business and the public. So finally, the economic benefits. So recycling and recovering valuable materials that can lower waste disposal costs and allow industries to reuse or sell recovered resource. So this creates additional business value while reducing production costs. Our strategy also supports the growth of green industries and creates more employment opportunity in waste collection, recycling, treatment, and environmental monitoring. At the same time, companies that comply with environmental regulation can avoid fines, improve their reputation, and attract more investors. So, our proposed strategy provides a balanced solution that benefits the environment, society, and the economy. So, it supports sustainable industry development and helps Malaysia move toward a cleaner, safer, and a more resource efficient future. So, that's all from me. Thank you.